Welcome to another day of Bhagavad Gita Sadhana. I just got a little thing across my screen that said you're live, which I guess, considering it could have been you're dead, is a beneficial thing today. Otherwise, the practice would not go on for the rest of its allotted time. Ooh. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate that decision. And I mentioned I had made a decision to do this particular practice for a full year. And I'm at the age, as perhaps many of us are, where I'm thinking back on my decisions in general, my decisions throughout life. And having worked with people who are near the end of life, I often see a lot of rumination. What if I'd done this? What if I'd done that? And for those of us who are perfectionists, like Arjun is in the Bhagavad Gita, we can spend an awful lot of time going, I should have done this. I should have done that. Or planning our day. What should I do? What should I do? Instead of just doing it or being done with it. One of the things that Krishna, Arjun's spiritual advisor, says to him in the Bhagavad Gita is, it's all going to happen, whatever's meant to happen. And whatever you do is not really going to affect what is meant to happen. And Arjun goes, wait a minute. If it's meant to happen, whoa, mind blown. And then, of course, we get into discussions of what does that mean about fate versus free will, which we will talk about in coming chapters of the Gita. However, today I'd like to look at chapter 12, as we have been doing, and this idea about the decisions we make. How much impact do they really have? And we can think of, yes, on our world, on our lives, on our planet, which is fabulous. And sometimes it helps to take a cosmic view. If I decide, because the sunrise was red this morning, to take warning, red in the morning, sailors take warning, that I should avoid outdoor activities, there's a decision where I can go, old sailor's wisdom, and ignore it. And it's going to rain whatever happens, or not rain, whatever I choose to do. But sometimes we do ascribe, like I think of some sports like baseball, the routines people get into, thinking that if I just don't, I even did this. Well, I wore this shirt last time and my team won, so I'm going to wear this shirt again. I know it sounds silly, but sometimes we need to apply a lighter view to what we do in life. So in chapter 12, Krishna presents this idea further about the decisions we make. So we're not reading it today because it's a lot, but I'm just going to be looking at verses, starting with verse 8, okay? And you can look along or you can listen, chapter 12, verse 8. Basically, what Krishna is doing in these verses is telling Arjun, look, this is how you reach your true self. But if you can't do that, because that's too hard to fit into your life or your schedule, then you can do this. And if you can't do that, then you can do this. Oh, and if even that's too hard, then you can do this. And you think, wow, he's ranked these things that you can decide to do in order. And then when you get to verse 12, it's like he turns that upside down. The thing that was like the last possible thing, if you can't do all this, then do this. And it sounds like it's the worst. In verse 12, he's like, no, that's actually the best. And then one who is a perfectionist or literal or trying to translate the Bhagavad Gita can go, what the heck is going on? But this can perhaps help us connect to this idea of Samatvam, which is our year-long theme. This idea of being yourself, being true to yourself, no matter what the situation. It can help us apply this in daily life. Equanimity. If all decisions, are equally good and equally bad, what would that mean for our lives? I mean, we look at other opposites that the Gita has talked about. Whether it's cold or hot, be the same. Whether you're being criticized or praised, be the same. Whatever decision you make, go with it and be the same. And treat others the same, no matter what decisions they make. I mean, this is very huge and very hard. And as somebody who was raised in the Catholic Church would probably fall apart if it adopted this idea, because you go to church and you hear, this is what you must do. Otherwise, hellfire. It's either heaven or hellfire and damnation. Heaven or hellfire. There's really no middle road. And this extremist view really polarizes people, and it polarizes us within ourselves, because then we internalize that. Things we think, I should have been able to see into the future and pick this decision, but we didn't, and we beat ourselves up for that. We create our own internal hell, or we congratulate ourselves for things like, oh, I bought this house and suddenly this neighborhood is going up. I couldn't have foreseen that, and that's not why I bought this house. But then I go, good job, me. And it really affects my view of myself. And it also affects my view of others. One thing in this society that people are often judged on is whether they have kids or not. And I don't have biological children, and I've heard what people think of people who don't have biological children. It's like, that was my choice. Well, actually, it wasn't, because I can't have them. But until I found that out, I figured, well, it's my choice. I'm glad my choice kind of aligned with my physical destiny. But see, I guess my choices wouldn't have mattered then, would they have? Oh, interesting. But then it's easy for other people to judge me. You don't have kids, or for me to similarly become judgmental. Oh, you have so many kids. And it's just, if we want to live in the present, and if we want to live balanced, and if we want to be balanced in our dealings with other people, this is one of the big teachings of the Gita that is going to be so, so hard, because it's going to require us to give up judgment and the desire to feel superior to others because of the choices that we personally have made, and to just be, and to let others be, to refer back to something we talked about earlier. Just, we are and they are, and can't we all just be together? Today, I'm dedicating the practice to M squared. Good luck. I'm thinking of you. And to all those who work to maintain fair and accessible elections. Because coming up in this country, it's like, oh my gosh, you vote for one person and they're not my candidate, then you're like the devil. And if you vote for the other person and they're my candidate, then of course you have good sense. And it's just, my perception is it's just a little out of control. And this is not, I thought, when I was taught what democracy is supposed to be about. It's about, you have your ideas, I have my ideas, we vote, and we see what happens. And to have people threatened over trying to keep the voting process going is just, I hear people talk about other countries and how they run their governments. Like, oh, come on, let's look at our own country and let's look at our own selves, because what we do with ourselves on a daily basis ripples out into our society. So today, like when we do our pose, how are you going to do it? And are you going to fret over it? I should have done it this way. I should have done it that way. What's the best way? Or are you just going to do it and let me do what I need to do, and you do what you need to do? That's the hard part as a teacher. If we demonstrate, people want to do what we do. Do what you want to do. Make your own decision and be good with it. I'm good with it. Switch sides. Alrighty, now we have 5 minutes. I usually say let's contemplate, but really, whatever the heck you want to do with this next 5 minutes, it's all good. Whatever. Take a little time for dance. Just imagine that for the next 5 minutes, whatever you do, it's all good. Let's see what happens. Maybe I should say it's all the same, whatever you decide to do. Welcome back. Welcome back. It might be a very tough idea to wrap our head around, that whatever decision we make is equal. So maybe we can look at it this way. Whatever decision you make today, can you still love yourself? And whatever decision other people make today, can you love them? I love my cat no matter what he does, that little guy. And I extend that to you. However you spend your day, I still care. I hope that your day brings you joy, or that you find joy in the day, whatever you decide to do. Until next time.